Okay, today we're going to show you how to sleeve a 4-pin extension cable. This is, and we're going to show you the items that we need to get this done with. Of course, this is the 4-pin cable that we're going to be sleeving today. And this is the Molex pin removal tool. This is the tool used to take off the Molex connectors. And sleeving that we're going to use today is a 1/4 inch sleeve. And we're going to go with bluest color of our choice. And these is heat shrink. This will go on the actual ends of the sleeving to prevent it from fraying once we put them on. And some of the other tools that we need to do this with is a soldering gun with a heat knife on the end of it. This is used to cut the sleeving. And then the last item that we need to put the heat shrink on with is the heat gun. Okay, now we're going to take off the Molex connector using a removal tool. So what you do is you just slide over the pin and put a little bit of pressure down on it and just pull the pin right out the back. It comes out pretty easily, and just do that to all 4 pins on the connector. Okay, now after that is off, what I like to do is to mark the pin so I remember where it goes at into the connector, and just use a little marker. And it's got the red pin goes on this side, so we're just going to mark it on the back of it here so we know where it's at.
Can I take your name and number?
And also going to mark the red so you remember this is the one next to the red wire. And now, when that's all done, what is very important to do so when you're sliding the cable sleeve over this and the pins don't catch on it, is to cover all the connectors at once with some tape. This will stop it from dripping onto the sleeve as it's going through. Okay, so we have that. So now what we got to do is measure our sleeve for the right distance that we need here. Okay, so just kind of measure out the length. Just put one end down to one connector, and down right, just down below the pins on the other side. Okay, so that's going to be our length that we need to sleeve it with. And now this is where the soldering gun with the knife tip comes in. Just hold this down for a few seconds to get it hot, and this will melt down the sleeving from fraying. So now it's nice and warm. You just push right down on there, and that melts right off. See, then it prevents it from fraying up with the heat. And now we will slide this over the top of our wire. Actually, sometimes when you melt it down, it kind of closes the gap a little bit, so there's not much there. Sometimes what I like to do is just to snip off a little end on it here with the scissors, just so it opens up. And it should expand right over it. Just hold it down so it doesn't fray a lot on you there, just to get it on. Got the heat shrink we're going to put on is going to hide all the fraying anyways on the tip, so you won't see that, and then we'll give it a nice clean finish when it's all done. And then sometimes you might have to do this on the other end too, just to open it up so it gets over that connector. So we're just going to snip a little tip off there and slide it on all the way. So once we have our sleeve on, now we have to put our heat shrink on. And these go on both ends of it, so it covers the fray part of the sleeving and gives it a nice clean finished look. So one there, and then our other one's going to go onto this side. Okay, so now once that's on, we have to put our Molex connector back onto the wire before we use the heat gun. And here it is, we're just finishing it up here. And this is your finished product when you're all done. 4-pin extension cable, sleeved and ready to go. And if you need any of these items for modding, sleeving, and cooling and more, visit crazypc.com.